Communication is how we express ourselves. It's not only important for us to have good communication skills for a successful career, but it's extremely important to be able to communicate well, to have good, meaningful relationships, and overall a very fulfilling life. It is not a skill that you should not think about or spend time on building. Now, if I have to define what is communication or what are the various forms in which we communicate, communication firstly is all about your body language, your gestures, your eye movement. 60% of communication happens through the way you are looking and appearing and the way your facial expressions are. Words are really secondary. Secondly, like I said, words. So yes, the second form of communication is the spoken word. How you speak, what language you speak in. Thirdly, we have the written word, and the written word is getting more and more important as we move to our gadgets, as we move on to use of social media. So it's not only at work, but also in our personal lives that we are writing a lot more. And lastly, I will say, listening is a very, very important form of communication. I will talk about all four of these now in a little bit more detail. Firstly, let me start with body language. Body language is something that you simply cannot fake. You have to be a positive person from inside or have the right intention when you're dealing with people to be able to gain trust of the person you're speaking to. You might have got some feedback from your spouse, from your partner, or even children when they say, no, you're not listening, or no, you don't understand. And why do they say so? When you've been maybe looking at them and nodding your head because your body language has given it away. So this is something that you just cannot fake. You have to stay authentic about it. There are a few tips that can help you. Try and really tune in to the person you're speaking to. Listen intently, ensure your eye contact is maintained, and try to avoid distracting things like playing with objects or looking at your email or your phone when someone is talking to you. It's extremely important, even if it's a video call. Now let's move on to the second one, which we pay a lot of focus on, the spoken word. Yes, we do communicate by words. We put in a lot of thought and effort in these words. It's very important over here how you speak. What's your voice modulation? Are you really passionate about what you are speaking? Because when the words come out, the modulation, how you have chosen your words, give away your intent as well. And I will say one thing over here. While we all fret about how we sound, do we have the right grammar? Are we using the perfect English or the perfect language of our choice? It's not so much of the grammar and the diction, but how the words are coming out from you and what is it you're trying to say that really play a bigger meaning. Keep your communication also short and simple. And while I say it's the intent that matters, yes, grammar, diction also play a role, especially if you want to move on to roles which require influencing people. So keep building on the skill, keep practicing the spoken word, record yourself, hear yourself. Everyone has mobile phones now, so do a video recording and see how you come across. Are you being able to convince yourself with what you say? This is something you should continuously keep working on. Now the third one, the written communication. At work, take written communication very seriously. Do not write mails that do not give the complete context or do not clearly lay out what you're expecting via this mail. If this is an information only mail, say so. If you expect a response, clearly state so. Be very humble in writing. Written communication is, I would say, a very handicapped way of communicating. It sans any voice modulation. It does not have any body language. It really is a very cut and dry medium. If you're texting someone on the personal front, use a lot of emojis, use smileys, so you're able to at least marry words with some emotion. Otherwise, in formal communication, write carefully, be humble in your writing, and think through how you would feel if this email was to be forwarded or go public. Do not put anything on emails which you might not like to be shared forward. Lastly, and very important, the most important form of communication, I'll say, is listening. That's what helps you connect with people, especially as your circle of influence grows in your family or at work. How you build those trusting relationships and meaningful bonds and are able to contribute back to your work will depend on how effectively you are listening. What are people trying to say? If you're too busy in your own thoughts or what you want to say, you're going to often miss out on learning. You're going to often have shallow relationships where the other person knows, even if I walk up to this person, he won't be listening. That already cuts short your communication, making it ineffective. So be a good listener. Communication is something that you will have to keep working on. It doesn't come very naturally in the perfect form in the way it's needed. We all evolve over our lifespan in perfecting it. Communication improvement is a lifelong journey. How effectively you communicate goes a long way in how you influence people. The more senior you are, the better you need to be. It helps in winning trust. People look out for people who will help them feel much better after a chat, and that depends on how effectively you communicate. Are you able to really give the positive vibe by the way you're communicating? Going up the ladder in your career definitely requires a very effective communicator who can give short, crisp messages, is a very good listener, and will be able to inspire people. It's very important early on in your careers to try and have as many as possible public speaking occasions. If you're not getting them, practice them at home. Get over that butterfly in your stomach feeling early on. As you grow older, you will have a larger group to manage. You're going to have a larger family to influence, a larger set of people. And yes, at career, if you want to keep on growing, it will require you to be a good communicator. Do not get carried away, like I said earlier, by focusing simply on grammar and diction. Look at your content, build your knowledge base, be genuinely involved in how people feel, and you will over time become more effective, more impactful as a communicator. All the best, guys.